Today we're gonna find out if it's a good idea to dropship from Aliexpress onto Facebook Marketplace. What's up everyone, Paul here from dropshippingtitans.com, where I teach regular people just like you how to start your own successful dropshipping store. And I've been talking a lot this year about dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace because 1, the fees are lower, 2, the competition is lower, and 3, the profit margins are higher. So it has been an absolute gold mine for us online sellers, even new sellers just jumping into the game. But up until now, I have only dropshipped from other retail websites like Amazon or Walmart or HomeDepot.com. I've avoided wholesale suppliers and I've avoided suppliers from overseas like Aliexpress, Banggood, or DHgate. But a lot of you guys have been asking me whether you can dropship from these websites. So what is up with these websites? Well, websites like Aliexpress, Banggood, DHgate, you're gonna be ordering those items from China. And those items are then gonna be shipped directly to your customers on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I get the appeal of dropshipping from these Chinese suppliers. The cost of these items is less, which means that you are going to have higher profit margins, which means more profit. And a lot of these websites encourage dropshipping. They actually have dropship programs a lot of times. Now, I've been avoiding dropshipping from these websites because I'm always afraid that the quality of these items is going to be so poor, it's gonna upset my customers, and more importantly, is that I'm afraid it's gonna take too long for the customers to get their items. You see, one of the things about Facebook Marketplace is when you sell items on there, you have to upload a tracking number within 3 business days. And if you don't upload a tracking number within 3 business days, that order will be canceled. So without that, and without the item shipping out fast from these Chinese suppliers, then I'm gonna be out of luck when it comes to my orders. But I always like to put my assumptions to the test. I always like to try new things. So I'm gonna do it. I'm going to drop ship some items from Aliexpress on the Facebook Marketplace. Let's see how it goes. So this is Aliexpress, and if you check out this website, you're gonna see that they sell a huge variety of items. They have women's fashion, men's fashion, phones and telecommunications, computer, office, things for laptops, consumer electronics, jewelry, pets, home, appliances, and each of these categories, and there's more, has subcategories and then sub-subcategories. There's just a ton of items on here. Now, one of the places I always like to drop ship, one of the categories is household items. So I'm gonna check out those right here and see what kind of stuff they sell. I mean, some of this stuff is just weird, like what are these waterproof boot shoe things doing right here? We have keychains, we have these barbecue kitchen lighters, knives, so just so many items here. It's kind of overwhelming. Like, what items should I actually be looking at to potentially drop ship? We'll get to that in a minute, but first thing I wanna show you is kind of like what Aliexpress looks like, because if you open up any of these listings, like this windshield cover for a car, you can see not only the price of the item, and how freaking cheap these items are. Like if you were to find this item on, let's say Amazon, actually, let's actually look. I'm gonna go over to Amazon and I'm gonna go car windshield. I'm gonna search for the exact same title actually and see if it comes up. I mean, there's similar things selling here for like 10 bucks. Sometimes 30, oh, here it is right here. This is pretty much the same thing. It's selling for $16.99 and people are buying it because it's got reviews. And this one here is only 63 cents. I mean, just look at the markup. Now, one thing to know is because these items are shipping so far, you're not generally going to get free shipping on a lot of these items. So right here, you can see that this item will cost $4.51 to ship to the United States. So right there, this is about a $5 item, but still it's selling on Amazon for $17, and you could sell it for more on Facebook Marketplace. Now, the more worrisome thing for me is right here. The estimated delivery date is about a month from now, just shy of a month from now. That is really long. So if a customer orders this today, they won't get it for 4 weeks. That is just way too long in my opinion. So I'm going to try to narrow this down and find some items that are going to ship faster. But before we do that, one final thing I want to show you are the reviews. So you see this item has 132 reviews, 567 orders. That's something else I want to be aware of because again, I'm trying to avoid those cheap quality items that are just going to break and make my customers upset. But let's see if I could kind of narrow down here some items that maybe will ship a bit faster. I can narrow it by free shipping if that's a concern. And although, you know, shipping is always built into the cost of the item anyway, I can also say, hey, I want this to ship from a warehouse here in the United States. So this is another misconception about these websites that, you know, hopefully you guys will see this, is that you can actually ship these from US websites and the price will always be more money generally, but sometimes that's okay if the customer gets the item faster. So we can look at this windshield cover again. I guess I missed this, or this is actually a different one. This will actually ship from the United States, and instead of it being, well, it says it's the same price actually. That's interesting. So for the same price, it will ship from the United States. It still costs about the same for, actually it'll cost more for shipping right there. So this one's still gonna be $5. I sell the same item, but I'm going to get the fast shipping on it, faster shipping, because it's from the United States. Let's look at another one right here, like this. I wouldn't sell a pocket knife, but this thermometer maybe. So this item is, if I buy it from China, is $75 to $1.77, depending on, well, let's pick the white color. That's $1.48, but if I ship it from the United States, it's still $1.48, but the shipping is more money. So it jumps from just about $1.15 to $4. So you're gonna make less money, but the customer is actually going to get the item faster. All right, so I think for purposes of this video, I'm going to do my regular product research, which I'm not gonna get into how I do that in this video, but the first link down below is a link where you can download my free Facebook Marketplace dropshipping ebook. And in that, I talk about my product research and how it works. I'm gonna use that same technique here. The only difference is I'm only going to pick items that are based in US warehouses and have great reviews so that the items my customers get aren't complete junk. Then once I find a bunch of items, I'm gonna list them up for sale and we're gonna wait and see, hopefully after a few days, at least one of these items sell on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, cue the time lapse. The next day. All right, so less than 24 hours later, and I've already sold one of the products on Facebook Marketplace that I sourced from Aliexpress. Now, because this was such a cheap item, it's gonna cost me about $5, a little bit more than $5 with shipping. I still had a bit of a markup on there. I'm still gonna make about $10 profit once this item actually finishes and even after the Facebook fees. So that's pretty cool for such a cheap item. I have already fulfilled it. I'm just now going to wait for the tracking number so that I can upload it into Facebook. Not sure what's gonna happen because I don't know if I'm gonna get it within the 3 days that's required for Facebook Marketplace, but we will wait and see what happens. So it's been now 2 weeks since the item was ordered on Facebook Marketplace and things aren't going as smoothly as they were at first. So it took a little while for Aliexpress to get me the tracking number. So in the meantime, after 3 days had passed on Facebook, I had to do a workaround just to make Facebook happy, but I did eventually get the tracking number. But then there was no movement on it for quite some time. So that became an issue because the customer started to get a little bit impatient. You see, what happens is these suppliers, they can give you tracking numbers, but that doesn't mean they actually even shipped the item out, or it's not scanned properly, or it's not updated by the carrier, which is exactly what happened here. I got the tracking number, it just didn't show any movement for several days, and that really upset the customer. Now it is moving, but it seems to be moving really, really slow. I mean, once you get it to a carrier, you would expect it to just go at the same speed as any other package, but this is USPS, so maybe they're just going a little bit slower than what I'm used to, definitely slower than what the customer's used to, and especially with all the delays already, it's not looking so good and the customer isn't that happy. So what I've actually done is I've just refunded the customer. I feel like they were getting upset, they're getting impatient, and I was kind of running out of excuses for them. They'll probably still get the item, so I'll be out the cost of it, but I'll chalk that up to a lesson learned that maybe these aren't the best suppliers to work with. Now, it could just be that I got a bad supplier on Aliexpress. I did, unfortunately, as soon as I sold the first item, deleted the other ones because I just wanted to do this as an experiment. I kind of wish I'd kept some more in there to sell them to really do this with more than one item. But hey, I'm also happy that it just was a mistake with one item and one sale and not all of them. Overall though, I think I'm going to stay away from these different Chinese suppliers, even if they do have warehouses here in the United States, because for me, for my Facebook Marketplace account, it's just not worth it to be selling them on Facebook Marketplace. Now, if you guys want to learn the right way and a way that works to dropship onto Facebook Marketplace, then you should check out this video right here, because I really show you more in depth how Facebook Marketplace works and ways that actually do work with good shipping options. So check out this video. I'll see you there in just a few seconds.